is.
Yeah, in the day and age of some classes costing money, I mean, it's pretty cool that we get
Yeah,
to offer this
I'm telling
experience
you,
at no cost. And,
this is
the Claris itself comes with a cost. I think we pay like almost $600 a year to have that tablet have service to be able to
really
offer. Yeah. So it's pretty expensive.
600 a year for everyone, Terrace, or just mine?
Just one tablet.
What?
Yeah. And so, we're able to offer that for now, and hopefully we'll get to continue to offer that through our.
That's why I'm taking advantage of it because there's not a whole lot that you can get that's so totally free, you know?
That's right. And then when we go and promote our programs, we can't really say, well, we don't in our area. I'm not sure how Sam promotes it being a free tablet. I mean, people would probably come out in droves. So
I know.
I don't know how it's handled. But anyway, we
Well, I think
will.
you have to be a member, first of all, of the SOWEGA, you know?
Got it.
That cuts down a lot too. And you have to be a certain age.
Yes,
I think it's
absolutely.
60 and over, I believe that's what it is.
Yeah, and
Don't ask me how I got in because I'm nowhere near 60. You know?
well, however old you are, be proud of that age. Um, so, anyway, I have myself a note to send you those links. I'll probably send it
Okay.
in two different emails. That way, it's not confusing.
And
One
I'll
I'll
look
call
for it.
Tuesday PM, and the other I'll call Friday Exploring. That way, you can keep those separated.
Okay. I'll look for it and make a note of the date and try to pin it or whatever. I'm not that computer savvy, but I would
Me,
definitely
me.
like to be able to get back to it.
Like I said, what I do is I just go into the search bar in my email and search
Uh-huh.
what I'm looking for, and that usually brings it up. I usually don't have any problems. So let's go
Okay.
ahead and get started by warming up our bodies, just walking and moving our arms and opening and closing our hands. Just doing what
Okay.
we can to get our blood flowing so that we lessen our chance of injury. We know that warm
Pass it on.
muscles are easier to move. All right, we got Miss Linda coming in. Let me mark her present
Watch it.
there. And yeah, there she is. Um, so it is 1:37. I'm glad you're here, Miss Linda. I see that your camera and your sound is off, and that's fine. I'm glad that you're here. We're warming up, opening, closing our hands, and getting ready to do our Tai Chi. So we have been getting ourselves comfortable with our basic six. We've spent a few weeks with waving hands and clouds, and I gave you homework such as to practice Tai Chi walking sideways and really practice the empty step before the weight transfer, and also practicing what feels natural for you in terms of the spacing of your legs so that you didn't either feel off balance or you weren't having to kick off to complete the weight transfer to that other foot. So, hey, Miss Linda.
Hey,
So,
I didn't think I was gonna get in.
well, what in the world was happening? Did your Claris shut off?
It just didn't want to bring you up.
Well, I noticed that my Claris is completely shut off because I was going to quickly see if I had heard from you, and it was off, and I thought, I'm not going to bring it up because it'll start all that dinging. So, anyway, I'm glad you're here. I'm glad you came through. So, That's
Me
what we're
too.
going to do again today. We're going to practice our waving hands in clouds movement connected with the rest of our basic 6. And as we know, the only way to get better is to practice. And so if we feel good about what we do today, then next Tuesday, about said Monday, next Tuesday, we will start with our advanced 6 movements. And don't get scared off by that, because we'll do it just like we've done the others. Break it down, find all the different ways to talk about it, and practice and go over it every single time. Also, there's always the videos on the YouTube page on the playlist, under playlist. The list is called Tai Chi, and there's videos for everything. I was happy to look that up this morning and see that nearly 300 people have watched some of those videos. So, or it has had 300 views. And so that's pretty cool to know that people are utilizing that and it's helpful. So don't forget about that if you want to use it to practice Tai Chi when we're not in class. And if you need help accessing it, just let me know and I'll help guide you through it. All right, so we're getting in our stable stance, meaning that our feet are in a way spaced out enough that feels very stable for us. For instance, if my feet are real close together and I go to shift weight to one foot, then I kind of feel like I'm going to fall over. If my feet are too wide and I go to transfer weight to one leg, then I'm having to kick off with this other foot. And so that would be a stable stance. So it's what feels good for you. I like mine about hip width, maybe a tiny bit wider than hip width. And then, of course, I have that soft bend in my knees. Thinking about my posture, upright posture is one of our principles, and it's like a string that pulls up and down, but then our shoulders are relaxed. So we're relaxed in our stance, but also very controlled in our posture and the way we're holding our bodies. And so we just want to be conscious of the way we hold our bodies throughout Tai Chi, keeping ourselves stable and following principle. So we'll do our warm-ups. We do warm-ups from neck down to our ankles. We still follow principles, thinking about our movement control with slow, smooth, and continuous. And then we'll talk about weight transfer when we get to our lower body. So let's begin with our neck, bringing our hands up, palms down, turn and pull them towards us, turn and push them away, and then follow those hands all the way down, chin to chest. You feel a slight stretch in the back of your neck. We're not forcing or pushing anything. We're just slightly warming up that neck. Adding in these hand movements, which makes it feel like Tai Chi. I'm breathing. I'm reminding myself to not hold my breath. All right, next neck exercise starts out that same way. We drop one hand and follow the other as we look towards that shoulder. Come back to the front and switch. So we're going side to side. If you've ever had a stiff neck or woke up with a crink in your neck, we know just how important everyday life, how important it is to have a neck that moves. And so with this movement, we get that neck very flexible and mobile. Sometimes we get that crank in our neck for no reason. We just wake up with it. Sometimes I get stuck on this movement because it feels so good to stretch that neck. All right, let's roll our shoulders. My fingers are on the sides of my legs. They're drawing circles. We're thinking the size of a quarter. We roll forward and then we roll back. So rolling back second kind of feels like a massage you give yourself, and it helps reset posture. So if you've kind of found yourself a little slumped, then rotating your shoulders back helps reset posture. All right, let's big shoulder circle, same movement we do at the end. Hands up, palms up, and then turn and push those hands down. Inhale and exhale. Great opportunity to practice breath.
Good. Just 136. Thank you, Mayor.
So those are for our shoulders. Now moving to our spine. Let's grab our ball, our invisible ball, and we're going to separate those and stretch our spine. One hand pushes up, the other pushes down. Notice this soft bend. It's the same on both arms. We're not fully extending our arms, locking our joints. We're keeping those joints open so energy can flow. Simply think about your back or your spine stretching as you push up and down. Don't let your focus be on your arms, but instead your back. And if you're having any problems with mobility in your shoulders, it could be one shoulder or both shoulders, you might not be able to lift your arm above your head like that, so you can stay small and have that stretchy string where you can stretch that back even with that small movement there with that stretchy string. And there's not really a string, it's just an imaginary stretchy string, and you're stretching those muscles in your back.
From here, I am.
So listen to your body and know your limitations, and we make modifications for what we're doing, for what each of us are have going on. So let's now have our ball, and we're going to take this ball side to side. The hand on top tells us the direction we're turning, switching our hands, and then coming back across. So this is a turn, right? So the hand is going along for the ride. And this movement right here is like our waving hands in clouds movement, where we switch and turn. Here, look, we switched and then turned. So our hands are a little bit different, but the concept is the same, where it's a torso movement as we go side to side. I'm engaging my core muscles, especially the ones in my stomach, really tightening up those muscles and letting those muscles guide me side to side. Because by using my muscles, then I help them get stronger. All right, so those two are for our spine. Now we're moving to our lower body, where it gets complicated if you have issues with balance. So you can use a wall nearby, as long as it's not a portable wall that moves. A table, especially if it's stable and it's not going to move anywhere if you lean into it. Or a chair, making sure your chair doesn't have wheels, that it is stable and you can rely on it. So with these moves, you can skip the hand movements if you want to stay standing and hold onto your chair. And I highly recommend you stay standing and practice weight transfer. But if you need to sit down, then there are the instructions for seated Tai Chi. And if you're interested in seated Tai Chi, the class that was recorded on September the 9th, AM and PM, both were seated Tai Chi classes. So they were perfect examples, and I took the perfect opportunity to do seated Tai Chi. So standing, relying on nothing is what I'm going to show you. But always make modifications and listen to your body. So we're going to shift our weight to one leg. And then we're going to place our heel forward and our hands back. We're going to pause in the middle and toe back hands forward. Keeping our body upright. So we're not leaning into this movement at all. We're staying standing straight up. I feel a little bit of wobble in that shoe, and that's okay. My body's finding that balance. Let's shift weight to that other side. Heel forward, hands back. And you may find that one leg feels a little more stable than the other. I think my problem is my foot. I'm still having a little, not pain, but just a little discomfort in that foot that was hurting me a couple of weeks ago. Problem is I never stop. And so I don't think I take time for it to fully heal. And y'all can relate. All right, feet side by side again, our stable stance. And we're going to shift the weight to one leg. As our hands go in the direction of the weight shift, notice they stop right here. I don't keep going. If I were to keep going, I would start leaning, but I want to stay upright. And then I tap out when that weight is fully transferred. So I'm shifting and tapping out. So taking my time, slow, smooth with my movement. Don't forget to breathe. We get busy with this weight shift. We get focused on making sure we're strong and we're not falling. There's so many different things we think about when we're doing Tai Chi, and sometimes we forget to breathe. All right, next is for our knees. So we're going to shift our weight to one leg, and then we're going to lift and tap that toe out, punching the opposite hand. Shift, lift, tap and punch, bring it back. Shift, lift, tap and punch. Take your time with the weight shift. You're in control of how high you tap that foot out. Nora, we talked about this on Friday, with this being a knee warm-up. But how it involves our hip, our knee, and our ankle, just because that leg hosts all of those joints. And we need them all working for that. Now let's step forward. Shift weight, step out. Let me back up a little bit so you can see both feet. Step out. We're going to shift forward, keeping both feet flat on the floor, and then shift back. Feet side by side. Shift, step, shift and punch, bring it back, feet side by side. Now again, this is for our knee, but it involves all of our other joints too, doesn't it? All of our weight-bearing joints, hips, knees, and ankles, and probably all the little ones in our toes. Sometimes I'll feel my toes grab the floor. Now for our ankles. Shift weight, heel toe, rocking that foot. Bring it back, shift the weight, heel toe, heel toe. Come back, shift weight, big toe, little toe. Bring it back, and other foot, little toe, big toe, side to side. This is a little more awkward of a position, but nonetheless helps with the flexibility of our ankle joint. Yours may be popping like mine. Give yourself a shake. So those are our warm-up movements for all of our major joints. That gets us ready for our basic 6 or our Tai Chi series of movements. So anytime you practice at home, don't just skip over to the Tai Chi. Take that little bit of time to go through and do all your major joints. It'll take you less time than what it takes us here because I do a lot of talking to remind you of proper form, foot placement, weight transfer, all the things that have to do with our principle and to keep you safe. All right, so any questions about our warm-up moves? You can always speak out and ask questions if you need any clarification, no matter when in the class. So don't feel like you're going to be badly received by interrupting. I encourage you to interrupt if you need clarification. So what I'm going to do is do our basic six movements, talking through those to you in mirror image. So I'm going to do it in mirror image, talking you through it. Then I'm going to turn around and I'm going to talk you through all the moves with my back turned. So that way you can see what's in front of me, and then when I turn, you may find it easier to follow. So we start in our stable stance. Just do a quick body check. Make sure you're not holding any tension anywhere. Making sure you have that soft bend in your knee, the soft bend in your elbows. That allows energy to flow. Even thinking about your armpits as you'll raise those hands to give your armpits some space to breathe. And again, that allows energy to flow. So standing right here, right now, my arms are a little bit away from my body. I'm not like collapsed down. And it's probably hard to see because I have on clothes. And I'm going to keep wearing clothes. So you'll just have to imagine that my armpits are a little bit off from my body to open up that joint. All right, so we're going to start and go through all of our basic 6. Again, remember it's in mirror image. So let's commence. We bring our hands up, facing each other, down, shift right. Place left, hands come in and up. Shift left as those hands go out. Right foot forward, hands come back, open and close. I'm going to step back so you can see my feet for sure. All right, we're going to shift left. Step right, putting ourselves into a staggered stance. Push our hands out, and when we do that, we adjust weight to where now we have weight on both legs. Turn our hands away from us and follow with our head and eyes that left hand. Shift to our left foot, bring that right foot and our right hand back. We're ready for waving hands and clouds. Step, switch, turn. shift, the 4 words behind us, step, switch, turn. That's 2, we're going for 6. Shift, step, switch, turn, shift, step, switch, turn. There's 4, 2 more. Shift, step, switch, turn, shift, step, switch, turn, and to the middle for open and close. Single whip, shift right, step left, adjust weight as I push, turn, and separate. Eyes follow that right hand, but I didn't forget to keep moving my right hand as well. I think I said that wrong. Shift right, bring that left foot, left hand back, waving hands and clouds. I don't do a good job lying, do I? Step, switch, turn. Shift, 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 step, switch, turn. And come back to the middle for open and close. Close it out. So that's our basic 6 done in mirror image. Well, mostly. I think I lied one time. Let's do it one more time. Mirror image. Got to redeem myself. And commence. Hands up. Down, shift right. Place left. Hands come in and up. Shift left as they go out. Right foot forward. Hands come back. Open and close. Single whip. Shift left. Step right. Adjust and push. Turn, separate. Eyes follow that left hand. Shift left. Bring that right foot, right hand back, waving hands and clouds. Step, switch, turn, shift, 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 step, switch, turn, back to the center for open and close. Single whip, shift right, step left, adjust as I push, turn, and separate. Eyes follow my right hand. Shift right, bring that left foot, left hand back, waving hands and clouds. Step, switch, turn. Shift, 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 step, switch, turn, and to the front or middle for open, close, and close it out. There, I think I redeemed myself. Any questions about that from the mirror image? That way you could see it from the front. Just wanted to make sure that was clear for you so that when we turn around, I think it's easier to follow. So no judgment. I'm not watching you for judgment. I don't want you to fall, and That's why I like for you to have your cameras on. But I want to make sure that you know the correct moves so that you can do them correctly. All right, so let me talk you through it with my back turned. And again, this is on a video under playlist with Tai Chi that talks you through the moves. All right, here we go. Stable stance. I'm thinking about my principles, specifically slow, smooth, and continuous. I'm thinking upright posture, no tension. And I'm thinking about weight transfer and the fact that whenever I place a foot or step a foot, I don't immediately give it weight. It's an empty step and then I give it weight, okay? So review those principles in your head before you get started. Focus on one, swap around in different moments, but always keeping principles in mind. All right, here we go. And commence. Hands up, down, shift right. Place left, hands come in and up. Shift left as they go out. Right foot forward, hands come back, open and close. Single whip. Shift left, place right. Adjust as I push, turn, and separate. Eyes follow that left hand. Shift left, bring that right foot, right hand back, waving hands in clouds. Step, switch, turn. Shift, 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 step, switch, turn. Now back to center for open and close. Single whip. Shift right, place left. Adjust as I push, turn, and separate. Eyes follow that right hand. Shift right, bring that left foot, left hand back, waving hands in clouds. Step, switch, turn. Shift, 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 step, switch, turn. To the center for open and close. Close it out. How was that? Hopefully you're feeling more and more comfortable with these moves. Waving hands in clouds is a complicated move, so that's why we're giving ourselves time to really get used to putting it with the others. Remember, I encouraged you to have your cheat sheet with our words on there so it can be your brain whenever you're practicing waving hands in clouds. But if you want to have a paper that is your brain while you practice, then make a list that says commencement, open and close, single whip to the right, waving hands in clouds to the right, open and close, single whip to the left, waving hands in clouds to the left, open, close, close it out. So that way you have all of your moves listed, and then you don't have to think what's next. You don't have to think which direction. And the more you practice it with your cheat sheet, the better you'll get at it, and then it'll be in your memory before you know it. I still use this cheat sheet: step, switch, turn, shift, especially in class. So I like to have that there so I can think about what's next. So just like anything, how we get better is practice. So let's go through it again. This time I'm just going to say the names of the movement as we go through it. All right, here we go. And commence. Open, close. Single whip right. Wave hands in clouds right. Open, close. Single whip left. Waving hands in clouds left. Open, close. Close it out. That was so quiet. I'm going to turn on our music. I like practicing with our music. No, not Taylor Swift. Taylor Swift is not Tai Chi.
Don't think so.
I had the right letter, T. All right. So whenever we do the waving hands in clouds, I caught myself doing step and switch at the same time. And then turn, shift, step and switch at the same time. I like to combine those movements, but when I'm first teaching y'all, I try to do 4 complete moves. So excuse me if I fall into that step and switch. That's part of making it that continuous type movement. So you can do that as well. All right, from the beginning. And commence. Open, close. Single whip, right. Waving hands in clouds. See, I stepped and switched at the same time, turned and shifted. Open and close. Single whip, left. Waving hands in clouds. Step, switch, turn, shift. close. Close it out. So the better you get at it, the shorter it is. When we first do it, it seems like so many things happening, but the more we practice, the shorter it gets. All right, let's do it again. From the top. And commence. Open, close. Single whip right. Waving hands in clouds. Open, close. Single whip left. Waving hands in clouds. Open, close, and close it out. This time when we go through our moves, I want you to really be thinking about empty step, then the weight transfer. So make sure you're not just going ahead and giving weight to your foot as soon as you place it on the floor. So I want you to be thinking about that. Empty step when you place your foot, not an immediate weight transfer. Okay, let's do it again with that in mind. And commence. Empty step. Then shift the weight. Empty step, then give it weight. Single whip. Empty step, then give it weight. There's a lot of empty steps. Waving hands in clouds. Open, close. Single whip. Here's an empty step. Then wait. Waving hands in clouds. Empty step. Then shift. Empty. Now shift. Empty. Shift. Open, close. So, while we have an empty step, what's happening with the other foot? Well, the other foot is holding our weight. If this foot is empty, no weight on it, I can easily just pick it up and down. All the weight's on this leg. So whatever we have going on, we empty step, we do whatever we do with our hands, and then give weight to the other foot. The whole time that one leg is holding our weight. And so that's one way our muscles get stronger in Tai Chi, is because we force one leg to hold our weight for a long time by empty stepping. And so there's a reason why we do the empty step outside of kind of a floor check. Make sure there's not a Lego down there. Make sure there's not a hole there. Make sure it's a safe ground for me to commit my weight and foot to. So there's that. But mainly it's so because that other leg is holding our weight and getting stronger holding our weight. All right. So we're going to do it again, thinking empty step. And I'm not going to say it this time. I'm just going to say the names of the movements. And commence. Open, close. Single whip. Waving hands in clouds. Open, close, single whip. Waving hands in clouds. Close it out. I was so in the zone, I forgot to keep calling the names. But we get better and better. We don't need the names. We're getting that flow of the movement. All right, let's do it one more time and then we'll cool down. And commence. Open, close. Single whip, right. Waving hands in clouds, right. Open, close. Single whip left. Waving hands and clouds left. Open, close, and close it out. So we got a lot of practice in. That's great. I love that. I love that we got to really talk about the movements front and back and all the pieces and parts, and then practice it with a focus of the empty step before the weight shift. So I still want you to be thinking about Tai Chi walking. I want you to practice Tai Chi walking and getting in the second nature of the stepping, the spacing of your steps, so that you take that step empty and then shift the weight, and then you can easily pick this foot up and put it back down. It's not too far out here where you're having to kick off. So pay attention to the weight shift and how you can easily pick up the foot and place it right back down. Shift, and that's going to tell you if your spacing is off. If your legs are too close together, then you're going to feel like you're going to fall over when you go to shift the weight because your feet are too close together. And if your feet are too far apart, then you're going to feel yourself kicking off in order to do that follow step. So we want you to step really without thinking about it in a place that's just outside of hip width and then right at hip width. So yes, you are stepping, but they're really tiny steps. Basically, you're picking that foot up and placing it down right beside where it was. So we're not going real far. We're going a little far, really slowly. So practice that step, that Tai Chi walking. And, you know, if you have somebody in your life that has issues with falls, but they don't want to sign up for Tai Chi, or they're not interested in learning Tai Chi, they don't want to know what's a waving hands in clouds. They don't want to know that. That's fine. However, you can teach them about weight transfer. So even if you're standing holding your chair, standing holding a wall or a table, standing with some kind of stability, shifting weight from one leg to the other leg. So my feet aren't even leaving the floor, but I'm shifting weight and shifting weight. And then when you feel a little more brave, or they do, shift the weight and tap out, just like we do in our hip warm-up. But practicing weight shifting is going to help get those legs strong. Practice that with your upright posture. Practice weight shift. You can even get in your staggered stance. Shift weight to the front, shift weight to the back, and not even fully shifting all the way to the front or fully shifting to the back, but shifting a little more to the front, shifting a little more to the back. And that really starts working those muscles and getting those muscles strong, and that's going to help with falls prevention. So share that news with people, that weight transfer is a key to falls prevention. And we learn it in Tai Chi and we implement it into our movements, but you don't have to do Tai Chi to learn weight transfer or to practice it. All right, any questions before we give ourselves a fist massage?
Nope.
All right, well, next week we're going to introduce you to brush knee. It's an advanced movement, and we'll just take our time with it. But we'll still be doing our basic 6. All right, let's give ourselves a fist massage. We're just moving forward and learning more and building on our moves in the name of improving our balance, improving our coordination, working our brain, because it is difficult, so it's going to work our brain, which is a good thing to work our brains. Let's gather tension and
If
let
you
it
got
go.
a brain.
Do what?
I said, yeah, if you got a brain.
Oh,
Okay.
we're going to sing that song from The Wizard of Oz. If I only had a brain. Oh, I could do Tai Chi. It does take a lot of brain power to do Tai Chi.
By the way, Jennifer,
Uh-huh.
I like your outfit today. It looks cozy and comfy, just right for Tai
Thank you.
Chi.
Thank you. Pink is my favorite color, and that was an exciting outfit to find. That was 2 pieces that matched. All right, so we gathered tension and let it go. Now we want a big circle. But Tai Chi is designed to work our brain. We do cross-lateral movements to test or to challenge our brain. So it's good for that too. Some days it's harder than others, isn't it?
Yeah.
Some days I don't know right from left, and I've been learning that my whole life. You would not think it would be so hard to get right and left right, or correct. All right, we have our right fist representing our strength, our left fingers together representing our friendship, and our thumb in our humility. We put those together in mutual respect. We say namaste.
Namaste. Thank you.
Very good, y'all. You're welcome. I will see y'all the next time, but y'all let me know if there's anything I can do for you in the meantime, okay?
Well, I'd like to know why I'm having such a hard time getting in.
I don't know. So tell me, okay, so today, did you have to go to events to find class?
No, it come up on the screen and I'm hit video call.
Uh-huh. And then what happened?
And then the little square came up saying that telling my name and how I sign in. Then it's got down there join, and I hit join and it doesn't do anything.
So then you had to come back out and try it again?
Yeah.
And then it eventually worked?
Yeah. I mean, I don't know how. I think I get mixed up when I keep trying to pull it up because I did it several times.
Right. I don't know.
I see it on the top of the screen here.
Uh-huh.
It says connecting, and it's like it just will not connect. It just keeps going.
Do you think it has anything to do with the cell service? You know how we had that issue?
I don't think so because I have it in front of the window now, and I get better service with that as long as I got it in front of the window.
Well, I'll make a better habit of getting or coming into class on my Claris to see if it's doing something similar, and then I can report it to them.
Well, I am doing the right thing, right?
Uh-huh.
I'm matching the video call.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Yep, that's right.
And that should bring you in,
Mm-hmm.
but it don't.
Isn't that how you do that, Nora?
Say that last part again.
Is that how you get into class? Like it pops up and then you push like live?
Yes. Yes. It pops. It even gives me a reminder.
Yeah.
And all of that. And once I put it on, I just have to, it pops up and you just hit the button and it goes through it all.
Yeah. I just don't understand why it's so timesy is the best I know to describe it.
I would think that you're connecting when it's got that up there, that it's connecting, but it's not connecting. It just keeps going and showing connection.
Right. I don't know. I can, like I said, let them know. Let them
Yeah,
know.
because if I'm doing something wrong in going in there, then maybe they can tell me.
Right.
You know,
But I don't know what else there is to do. That's what Nora says she's doing. Well, anyway, I'll look into mine and see if it's doing something similar and let them know.
your picture won't come in until you get through connecting, right?
That's right. But like I have to let you into class, so maybe that's the delay.
Yeah, but see, when you told me what time it was, you said it was like 37. I'd been trying it since 1:25.
Yeah, you
And
do
then,
let me in because then I can see that you're letting me in. Because sometimes I'm there 2-3 minutes before you actually let me in.
Yes. So I
then,
have it set up like that on my end.
and you come in at 1:30,
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah.
right?
That's
When
when
I got,
that's when you usually let me in, 1:30.
it was still connected. I don't know. I, I just won't know whether it's me doing something wrong or if it's the Clarice. You know,
We're gonna blame the Claris, but
It's
I know
probably the cameras,
it's probably the Claris.
not
well, you.
you.
But you got in, so that's
Yeah,
the
that's
most
the main
important
thing.
thing.
Yeah. Okay.
All right, my dears. Well, I hope y'all have a great week.
You
Thank
too.
you.
All right, love y'all.
Love
You
you too.
too.
Bye
Bye
bye.
bye.
Thanks again.
You're welcome.